Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Betholkas, and it's time for The Expanse, Season 6, Episode 4. We've only got two more episodes left. Redoubt is what the name of this episode is. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. But one of the videos, my vast video library, pops up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, while you're down there, hit that share button and the like button as well. And if you don't want to be notified by YouTube when I come on live, best thing to do is hit that bell down below and YouTube won't notify you when I come on live. So what you should do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages as well. Hey, Marks, Happy New Year to you as well. Uh, you're not happy with the Expanse, Marks? Well, maybe you will by the time I'm done here with this review. And Happy New Year to everyone else out there as well. I know it's New Year. We ended the year on a shitty note with Betty White passing, but I mean, what else we got going on, you know? Um, Mark says instead of starting to see resolutions, they keep adding things. Well, you know they're going to keep going on. So anyway, before I get started here, spoiler alert: if you if you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Giving you enough time to hit the pause button, the stop button, whatever you're going to do, all that kind of good stuff. All right. There we go. Happy New Year, Cheryl. Um, this is the final season, Morks, but that doesn't mean that it is the end of the expanse. The Expanse is going to continue. Amazon's not stupid. They're going to continue it. It's kind of like a telenovela. Telenovela. There we go. Ooh, man, my Spanish got really rusty there for a second there. Telenovela. There we go. So, where you can have the same characters in other stories that happen, you finish one story, that series ends, then you start another series with either the same characters or a different storyline, but set in the same universe. That's all they're going to do. So, so I had forgotten. I mean, honestly, I was wondering this planet, Laconia. I'm like, where the fuck did this all come into? And I remembered now at the very end of season 5, they actually brought in that about the protomolecule on board that station that it kind of went haywire. We thought it did, but it actually was an experiment that was going on by some of the people that had left in the ring gate. And Admiral Duarte from Mars is the one who is heading up Laconia there. And Kara, who's a little girl, by the way, her brother is dead. And she knows that the dog like creature can actually um, he brought the birds back to life, or at least one of the birds. So she ends up wheeling out her brother's body out into the forest, thinking that she can go and find the dog creatures to bring her brother back to life. Most likely, it's going to be a bad idea. So, also the protomolecule scientist who is with Duarte, he said that his experiment got back a response. So we don't know what the fuck that means, other than whatever he's been doing with the protomolecule, it's responding back to whatever he's doing. So most likely, this is going to carry over into the next series that I've just been talking about here. So in the meantime, we're getting the aftermath of what happened on Series Station as well, and we have Monica. Of course, she is doing her news story. We find out Monica survived. Avasarla sees her in with all the bodies, and she is actually going over about all the bodies, who these people were, all that kind of stuff, and what their likes, dislikes, all that kind of stuff. And um, she puts together a story. Monica puts together a story that she shows Avasarla, And Chrissy at first is not happy because of the old belter that she was talking to, who named his cat Lucky Earther because, as he put it, because she is fat and lazy, and I give her whatever she wants, which I thought was one of the fucking best lines, and also just a great name for a cat too, is Lucky Earther. Because let's put it this way, cats are fucking fat and lazy. None of them really, get their none of them really work for it. So she's pissed about this, and she's like, this makes us look weak. And Monica's like, no, it doesn't make us look weak. Basically, there's no us and them. There are people that hate and people that are just tired of the hate. And she goes, that's what this needs to come out. That's what this shows, is that Belter, Mars, Earther, whatever, all of them are just tired of the fucking hate, at this point. And Chrissy's like, okay, that actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. In the meantime, on board the ship, Peaches ends up finding out that, yeah, that Holden was the one that actually disarmed the bomb. And that's why Marcos did not go bye bye. And she tells Amos, and Amos is already kind of pissed off at Holden to begin with. And he confronts him outside when they're outside fixing, the Rocinante there. And yeah, it's kind of testy for a while. He actually gets in Holden's face and he's like, "Why didn't you do it?" And he doesn't give Amos a reason. And Amos is like, "Why am I here then?" He goes, "I want to know why I'm here," kind of thing. And Amos does have a good point. And later on, when Holden is talking to Naomi, and she's also figured it out too, um, she goes, "You don't get to decide for me. You kill him if you get the chance." And he said, "Fuck that." He goes, "Because if I kill your son, Philippe, yes, even though you tried to save him and everything, you're still going to wake up every morning next to the guy who murdered your son. That's not going to go well. I'm not going to be that guy." Which I totally agree with on all of that. That's actually what it is. Strangely enough, the only person on board the ship, well, not strangely enough, who doesn't know that Holden did this is Bobby. And Bobby is just pissed. She's just fuming that that missile was a dud. She said it was a 1 in a million shot, and in a 1 in a million chance that that missile did not go off. And she's the only one that doesn't know that Holden was the one that disarmed the bomb, because as soon as she knows, Chrissy's going to know. And as soon as Chrissy knows, Holden's going to be eating his own ass, is what's going to happen. So yeah, that's the reason why Bobby doesn't know at this point. So Mork says, I like how Avasarla tells off the Martian commander. Peaches is becoming such a cool character. Yes, and that was the other thing too, is Avasarla, the Mars commanders actually float the idea of taking Medina Station and taking the control of the rings. And Avasarla's like, no, fuck that. We're not doing that. We have two ships out of commission, two new ships out of commission. She goes, we're not going to go and fight another war. We're going to hunt down Marcos, and that's what we need to do. And we also need to take care of Ceres Station so we don't look like animals. And that's when Mars goes, we're on our own. Basically, we see the Mars commander like text it out that we're on our own. We're going to take Medina Station, which is going to end badly, most likely, because that Marcos is already thinking that's where they're going to go anyway. So, yeah. And then we have the badassery that is, well, before we get to the badassery of Kamina Drummer, we see that Philippe has been demoted down to engineering. Basically, he's replacing holes on the ship, on the Pella that's been damaged. And in the meantime, Rosenfeld goes down to him and says, look, you need to be the bigger Anaros, apologize to your fucking father so that we don't have this shit going on board the ship. And Philippe was like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to learn how to do this job now that I've been given. And fuck my father is what he says, and basically turns and walks away. And he almost fucks up again, of course, because he's not paying attention. He almost screws up the new job that he's learning how to do, and blames it on his boss, on his new boss, who's afraid of him. We see that, his new boss is afraid of him as well. So yeah, there's And of course, later on, he ends up getting along with this dude, but then, of course, becomes scary Philippe later on when we get Kamina Drummer's thing. So Kamina Drummer and the Tynan and her group of pirates, we're just going to call them Drummer's pirates at this point, find Marcos one of his stashes, which are just floating out there in space of supplies that Ceres needs fucking badly. And what does she do? She leads two boarding parties to go aboard to find out what's going on. They're trying to figure out why these things are pressurized, why they need to be pressurized. Well, they go on board and find out that there's guards that are actually on board there to protect it. And yeah, they end up losing one person. And then, of course, Joseph gets his arm trapped underneath one of the containers and it's crushed, which has Michio come in and having to cut off his fucking arm, which is just disgusting. Um, but yeah, drummer ends up doing a wideband burst and basically tells Marco Naros that he's a little bitch for running, and that if you want me, come and get me. She goes, "I've got your stuff. Fuck you," is what she tells him, which is a badass move. And we see her basically hauling off this gigantic ball of nothing but cargo containers full of all their stuff. And we don't know where she's taking it, but she's got it at this point. So Marcos, of course, sees this, loses his shit, like he's going to, of course. And Philippe sees it as well and ends up becoming his dad again down below decks and trying to scare the troops into, you know, getting into action, which he's not really good at it, quite honestly. But also, Philippe is also noticing that his dad is a fuck up, just like his mom told Philippe that that's what Marcos is. Marcos is someone who's good at getting other people to do the dirty work for him, but won't do it himself. So I think he's starting to realize all of this. Yeah. So yeah, there's a line drawn someplace out in space there with drummer wanting Marcos to come after her. And oh, a Rosenfeld, by the way. So Rosenfeld is given the orders to space two of the commanders of one of the ships that got damaged in last episode. And if the captain from the other ship asks for leniency or mercy, space him as well. And she tells Marcos that those two got spaced. And he goes, "Did the other captain ask for mercy?" She goes, "Yes." And I didn't have him spaced because I figured that was a rhetorical question, a rhetorical response that you were caught up in the moment and that if you did that, you're going to look weak. And he goes, "No one talks to me like this," is what he tells her. And she goes, "That's because you've either spaced all of them or they're down below decks picking up trash." Which I was like, fuck, man. Rosenfeld came back and, yeah, basically told him, you need somebody to actually put you in your place because you're going off, going offline at this point. And he's like, "All right." He goes, I'll give it to you. He goes, "What do you want in return?" And she goes, "Well," she pulls a Lex Luthor. "I want Medina Station is what I want," is what she says to him. "I want to be governor of Medina Station." He goes, "All right, we can do that. That sounds good." So, yeah. And that's kind of how we leave off. Everyone is bristling at war. Oh, and I also want to mention too, Clarissa Peaches, of course, talks to Holden again and says, "What stopped me from wanting to kill you is what you said." That it's words basically that stopped her from wanting to kill him. And that is kind of where we're at with this, I think, with season 6 is it's not the actions, but it's the what people are saying that are actually going to stop people from killing each other. That's what this whole thing's all about. And I'm liking this. I mean, this was a good episode. This is actually a very good episode. Mork says here his reasoning was solid, and he's in a really tough position. Mork says, "Poor Bobby. I was laughing my ass off how with how she's clueless." Also, Marcos XO has a very cool head. She confronted Marco and stood up to him when he ordered. Yeah, exactly. Raymond says, "I cringe so badly during the arm scene, like 127 hours. I never saw that movie. I heard about it, but I'm just, yeah, not into that kind of stuff. Mork says, yes, Raymond. And they added that extra crunch sounds. Yeah, I know. Well, you had to get through the bone. I mean, so you got to get that knife through, of course, the tendons and then the bone. That's the last part. I mean, that was, yeah. Again, Clarissa explains it all. Oh my God. You were waiting a long time for that joke, weren't you, Raymond? A long time for that joke. I'll allow it though. It was better than anything Apple Crow's thrown out lately. Um, Bazinga. That's the only time I actually use that word. So there you go. Good episode. We actually had a lot of stuff going on in this thing. Um, Again, we only have 2 episodes left. I like where we're at the moment. And I see that they are actually setting up a new series. Don't be surprised if at the very end of the very last episode, we get the announcement of the new series and when it's going to premiere. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be fall that the new series is going to premiere, or even summer. Have it premiere in summer or late summer, somewhere around there, and on Amazon Prime, just to kind of get the ball rolling. So that's what I'm seeing. That they're putting all their eggs in a row here. I also follow I follow the Expanse writers. I also follow, of course, the account for the 2 writers. And yeah, there's some stuff going on in there that has been kind of cryptic lately. Cheryl says, "I hope you are right," and Mork says, "That makes 2 of us, Cheryl." Yeah, I'm fairly sure that's where they're going with this. Come on, Amazon's not dumb. The reason why they paid this much for this property is so that they're going to have a long, long, long life with this property. Um, Again, this is their Game of Thrones, and they want to milk it for all it's worth. Same thing with the boys. I mean, the boys, they have 2 spin-offs going off for the boys. One's animated, one is live action. Yeah. So oh, Wes Chapman Chatham has a writing credit in this episode. I didn't see that. Oh, let me take a look. I'm on IMDb. Um, does he? Hmm. All right. I don't see him in the writing credits for this one. Okay. I'm looking at IMDb, but then again, IMDb is sometimes wrong. So there we go. Stanley said, I don't think it'll be a continuation. It could be a spinoff. So the next book, from what I understand, takes place 20 years later, something like that. And it has different characters, of course. But we still have some of the characters from this series that are older now that appear, or is it 40 years later, something like that. So it might have been last week's episode that he had the writing credit. Yeah. I can take a look. Let's see what we've got here. Da, 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 da. I'm actually looking at IMDb right now as we're speaking here because I have it up. So, that's what happens. That was Force Projection was last week, I believe. Yes. So Force Projection, and I don't see his name there either. So, but anyway, like I said, this stuff is this is actually a really good episode. It really is a good episode, a representative episode, I guess you could say, of the series. So yeah, it's good. Um, oh, he wrote the Expanse one ship, win or lose is what it says. That's the only writing credit that he has. So there you go. I think that's the little X-ray thing. So I've been trying to find the X-ray stuff, which is supposedly like the 5-minute vignettes or whatever it is that are, I guess it totals up like about 25 minutes of extra footage. And I have the Amazon Fire Cube, so I should be able to see it, but I'm not seeing it. All I'm seeing is the behind the scenes photos and the behind the scenes yeah, it's just behind the scenes photos is really all it is. So eh. Stanley says Holden and Naomi are still around in books 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oh, it's only in the browser. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. You had to have a mobile app or well, I mean, it uses an app for the anyway. Okay. I might look at it here afterwards when we're done here, and I might take a look and see what it is because it's just, I mean, that's fucking annoying. I mean, if you're making people hunt for that, and then it's kind of stupid, really. I think. You think Marco will be killed from behind by Anya Stark? Possibly. She'll just push him out into space. She'll space him. I am fairly sure that Marcos is going to be spaced. That motherfucker likes to space everybody. But I'm fairly sure it's going to be Drummer that spaces is at. It's either going to be Drummer or it's going to be Rosenfeld. And I have a feeling that Rosenfeld might be working with Drummer. I don't know. That's just a feeling that I'm getting. But then again, maybe it's too Scooby Doo ish for me. I don't know. Stanley said, I tried it. It's not on the TV app. Okay. You think he's gonna be blown up? I don't think so. You know what? Actually, Philip might space his dad. He might finally get tired of his bullshit and space his dad. Yeah. I just thought it was pretty stupid of Holden also to he gave the fucking free Navy a free nuke. That was a nuke that they sent over there, and he gave them a nuke. So they just put it back into their arsenal. They're like, oh, it was disarmed. So we rearmed it again and we stuck it into our tubes. You know what I'm talking about. Um, I haven't read any of the books either, so I'm right there with you, Marks. I'm actually just looking at what they're doing on the TV show. I like what they're doing on the TV show. It's great, and yeah, yeah. Holden fucked up. He really did. Holden fucked up, but he did it out of love. That's what it was, and also fear. I mean, kind of, sort of. I mean, like I said, like he said, he didn't want to be that guy that she woke up to every day knowing that he killed her kid. And whether she said she's okay with that or not, that still is going to be in the back of her head. And he's right about that. I mean, he's like, fuck that. I'm not going to be that person. And Peaches even tells him, she goes, because you didn't kill somebody, don't be ashamed of that. She goes, that's what you should be doing is wanting not to kill people. So yeah. Stanley says Philippe will sacrifice himself to kill Marco, I guess. I don't know if that's going to happen. Cheryl says, I think Philippe is beyond redemption. Yeah, he is beyond redemption. But he was also I mean, you got to remember this kid has been brainwashed all his life by his dad. And it's not the greatest of excuses, but it kind of is at the same time. Well, happy New Year to you, Stanley. Hopefully you're a couple drinks in, since it is 1:30 in the morning over there. So it's nowhere near 1:30 over here. And sorry I had to push this out. I was going to originally do this at 1 p.m. my time, and I pushed it out to 4 p.m. Um, I had a good reason. I really did. I actually excuse me. I had I had a mask emergency is really what I had. I wanted to get some more masks because my masks were starting to deteriorate pretty quickly, and so I was going to a far off land where I was getting some good masks. I got some Under Armour masks. Is what I got. Under Armour. There we go. So, and the only place in stock that had them was way far away. Well, not way far away. It was like 25 miles still. But yeah. All right. So what else do I have going on this week? Well, tomorrow is New Year's Day, so I'm off. So are you. Um Sunday is going to be a double header. Double header. We're going to do spoiler alert where you get to talk about anything spoilerific that you wanted to talk about as long as it's out in the general public. We can do it that way. And then after that, we're going to do Station 11, episode 6 and 7. There we go. Episode 6 and 7 of Station 11. See, that all rhymes. Monday, I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm doing as of yet, but we'll figure something out. Might be Cobra Kai. I don't know. Wednesday will be the Book of Boba Fett because we have a new episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And Thursday, we roll back over to Station 11. That's episodes 8 and 9. And then finally, we roll back around again over to the Expanse episode 5 on Friday. There you go. Joe says, does it cover your face? Yeah, it does cover my face fairly well. I actually just tried it on and everything before the podcast and was looking at it. It doesn't have any filters to put in or anything like that. I'm I'm really don't want to add more shit to the environment, to the pollution of disposable shit and all of that. So I was looking for something that was going to be washable, reusable, and not polluting a lot more by creating more garbage and stuff like that. And that actually ticked all my boxes there. And it looks good. It covers my face because my face is fucking big. So the extra large one works perfectly. Stanley says, I jumped on the Station 11 train too. It's quite good, is what Stanley says. Well, we'll get into that on Sunday. So until then, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Enjoy your New Year's Eve. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video. It pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, all those nasty, nasty little videos you've been watching, and tries to match them to some of the nasty videos in my video library and pop them up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, you naughty, naughty person, hit that subscribe button down below there if you can. Also, if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you don't want to be notified when I come on live, because who does? You can hit that bell down below, and YouTube won't notify you when I come on live. So what you should do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages, like Facebook page, Facebook group page, all that kind of stuff. So it's all there. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you might have a happy new year. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the booster shots as well, get those flu shots too while you're at it, and stay safe out there. Have a good New Year's. Have fun. Stay safe. And I'll see you again on Sunday. Until then, have a good night. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks. See you later.